Hi, I'm Don Rich. Welcome to this episode of Rich Insights. The topic we're going to talk about today is earnings. Does that sound interesting? Does that excite you? Of course it does. So let's go ahead and get started. Come on, come on. Today we're going to be talking about earnings first in the U.S., right? For large cap companies in the U.S. And then we're going to look at developed markets outside of the U.S., all right? It's an index called the EAFE, the Europe, Asia, and Far East Index. All right, so these are large cap stocks outside of the U.S. And finally, we're going to look at emerging markets. All right, does that sound good? Good. Let's head to the charts. We'll start here again with the S&P 500. You can see from this chart the black line simply denotes the most recent estimate of corporate earnings for the S&P 500 as a composite, not any individual firms, but for the composite. And of course, the blue bars and the blue line simply are the representation of the earnings per month. All right, so it's a little hard to see, but actually the U.S. earnings appear to just be at the start of cresting. Should that be a concern? Well, should the Queen be concerned that the royal family members are starting to leave the UK? Brexit has had a lot of people and a lot of businesses leave the UK, but now the royal family members? I don't know. While we're talking about that, I wish, maybe somebody can pass along a message to Harry for me. Would someone tell Prince Harry that upsetting your grandma like that, that's just not cool, all right? So let's get back to the charts. So we looked at the U.S., again, in pretty good shape, but just possibly starting to roll over. It's a little hard to tell right now. Next we have EAFE, again, developed market stocks outside of the U.S. What you can see here is earnings in EAFE started to roll over about a year ago, but the last couple months have actually been flatlined. All right? So starting to roll over is obviously not good, but the fact that they have flatlined recently is some positive attribute. All right, and finally, let's take a look at EM. All right, emerging market equities peaked a long time ago, a number of months ago, and have been falling since. So what does all this mean? Tell me, Fat Man, we got a whole lot of charts up here. Make some sense out of it for me. All right, that's what I'm here for. The charts tell us that U.S. equity markets have been outperforming, and they're outperforming because U.S. corporations are making more money than non-U.S. companies are. All right. So we want to stick with the overweight to U.S. Now, outside of that, large cap exposure, non-U.S. large cap exposure is still preferred to EM today. All right, so what's going on here is, again, EM started the economic down cycle before anybody else, and they're still in it. All right. Europe, next in line, they're in an economic down cycle. They plateaued here recently, but they are in a down cycle. And then we have the U.S. So stick with what's working today. U.S. first, large caps outside of U.S. second, and your third choice would be EM. Now, since EM was the first in the economic down cycle, they're going to be the first out. All right. That's the time when you're going to want to overweight your EM allocation. Today's not today, not the day. In fact, this year is most likely not the year. Stick with what's been working. All right, I'm Don Rich, and you've just experienced a rich insight. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. Thank you.